Hello. So I've taken a little bit longer than a minute that I promised on the earlier live stream to come back and pick up where I left off. Basically I made a coffee and I was in desperate need of just a hot drink this morning, or this afternoon when I was making it earlier, and I thought I'd fix my coffee before I started the live stream, and I got it ready. I sat down and I took a sip and it was warm, and I was like, coffee or live stream? And then coffee led into dinner, dinner led into pain and no rest, and that led into going out, and I've just come back now. And where I am at the moment is live on the internet, but what I mean by that is you haven't often seen this room on the live streams I've been making. I've been in my little cave at the front of the boat, and this is the rear room on the boat, and where I've not really done any work at all since I've moved on, just managing the move and my mental and physical health has been enough to preoccupy me with life, or the other way around, life has preoccupied me with that to the extent where I can't really get on. But what's happened in the past maybe week or so is that I've managed to get on with just the smallest amount of work here. I don't know how well it shows in the camera. It does. So this is a stove I bought. It was actually for the boat I had before, and it was just kept in storage, and it's rusted up, as you can see. It's not a problem. I can clean it with and get it nice again. But it's been installed. I've just got to fit on the flue, so I've got to weld it on and then weld it closed at the top, and then this will become usable. But I've got on with a little bit of well, it wasn't really needed what I've been getting on with, but it's just I wasn't able to get on with anything. And where I am with my health, it's like, right, I'm in pain now. The pain's coming on, that's how it happens. What can I do? Shall I make a live stream? Shall I have a coffee? Shall I have a smoke? Shall I go for a walk? Shall I do some work? If I can do some work, what work can I do? And through that sort of and by chance, I've started to create the base here. It started on the back as well with it's actually quartz. You can't be seeing. Well, let's see if we can. I've got a moment, so it's going to be a bit hard to show you, but it's there we. So I'm just doing some like mosaic on the base, and at the back I don't know how well it shows again. I don't really. Where are we? So just here there's some black one and a larger black piece at the top. I'm just making it up slowly as I can. But I've just come back and in relationship to what the title is, and honestly I'm hoping to get to the title, but in absolute truth where I am life, you know, being weak, so there might be a chance I might just not talk about the title at all, but I should get to it, I imagine, hopefully. I'm just exhausted, but I'm pushing myself, and I see this as art, really. You know, I remember when I was a kid, and I used to draw. I used to love drawing. That was my artistic. It's not just artistic. It's like when you're at school. Some people like at school don't. And you couldn't really do anything. This thing that a lot of people don't do anymore, and that is make phone calls with it. But yeah, I wasn't really social. I didn't really have friends. I wasn't even too good at drawing and art, but I knew if I sat down and I gave it the time, I could create that I'd be very happy. Enjoy it, you know. I'd mimic together, and it's like I'd go around to his house, he'd come around to mine, and we'd sit there for like 2-3 hours solid just drawing. And the way I relate to art is like I have it's not an ego, because to everybody else I don't really show anybody artwork or anything like that, but to myself I just can look at some art I might have done yesterday. I'm talking about like 20 years ago now, and there'd be a good sense coming from it, a good feeling, like, oh wow, I did that. It's like a shock to myself, and it's a bit like that with DIY for me now. It's like it looks a mess, this actual what I've done here at the moment, but often with DIY it's like that. It's like I'll come in and I'll see you know, yes, like there's a curtain here that I've put up, and all the electrics are behind it for the boat. And you come in and you see like an improvement to your life, and you know the work you put in, you know the time and the energy, and you've created something, and that's a rewarding feeling. I mean, pride in its most innocent sense, and at that level there's no real problem with pride in my mind, not the way I relate to it. Only 36, and I'm barely studied in this world, so there's many years to prove me wrong, and well, it's not even to prove me wrong, it's just to learn and grow. But this room is going to be a floating studio, hopefully, where I can possibly do some therapies and do my Qigong practice, you know, come in on a daily basis, a nice clean room. And that's where I'm hoping to do some live streams in future in relationship to over the course I've been talking energy and this and that into bits. But I claim to myself that it's basically because of life, it's circumstance. I haven't had the opportunity. The way I do exercise and Qigong, I need a little bit of space in my life, you know. I just set the intent right. Now would be a good time to do Qigong, or you just feel like doing some exercise, and that's when you do exercise. But where I'm barely able to get dressed in the day and cook my dinner and carry out the necessities, exercise has very much taken a backseat. Where I've been falling down, I'm hoping that I might be near the bottom, and in that there's you realize that it's as bad as it's going to get, and you can feel life again, because when it's constantly getting bad, you're constantly taking knocks, and with those knocks it's like after a certain amount you're on an emotional, mental level, it's like I can't take any more. You become dumbed down, and your mind sort of closes by itself because you don't want to hurt anymore as a result of the external environment and life. So it's almost like your mind, at least that's what's happened for me. And in this place, it's really hard, and asserting yourself to do exercise, the only way to do it is to know the importance of exercise, know the importance of life and everything that's needed, and hopefully put you in a place where you're going to be hopefully healthy. Coming to that point. So I'm hoping to be exercising soon, but I'm gonna share the training because my body's falling to bits. My body's super not healthy, and if I can turn my body around with the limitations I have upon my life, it's an almost certainty that anybody can do it, and for that reason it's worthwhile sharing. So I'm hoping to be doing some training and giving my viewpoints, my guidance on health. truth is I'm exhausted and I can barely do this right now, but like what I was saying earlier, it's just good to see this nice, I know it can't be really seen on the shadow, but where it's all mosaic around the bottom, there's also mosaic on the back wall at the bottom. And then what I've done is put like a large piece, it's broken, but it's cut to like a diamond shape, the way it broke. And it sits behind the stove and it's stuck well. It's just nice to see it coming on stage by stage and forming. I'm hoping to do gold in between each bit of tile. So the grout, put some gold in it, and when it's all finished and this is cleaned up and on for the first time, it'll be a nice experience. Just right now it's a fucking mess. It's quartz. I was lucky to find it in one of the couple of places I was moored at before. I went to get some parts, like screws and tools and bits and bobs. It was like an industrial estate. Not industrial estate, what do they call them? When you go in, you've got lots of large shops. And PC Worlds, Halfords and all of that. It was not a residential park, an industrial, I don't know what it is, but you know what I mean. And there was a place that made worktops or something, and they had a skip and they were just chucking away large, well, it wasn't even large, I mean, we're talking about length and from that size to that size, not square but thin. And they're proper quartz. It's not granite, it's not marble, it's quartz crystal, and it's coloured. I don't know quite how they go about colouring it in any way, but it goes all the way through. And well, I love spirituality, and I was into crystals once upon a time, so just knowing it's quartz is a bonus rather than it being anything else. Like what I was saying earlier about only being able to do certain things at a certain time. I'm only able to speak about certain things without it really exhausting me. And structuring the conversation in any way to really guide myself to the title is unlikely, and I can't think at the moment from the pain. So oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to make a frame. So I've got my old Apple display monitor that got it in the floods. So the boat got flooded after I shortly moved on, and this was in it was in storage down low, and the water came up and the screen cracked. So I've taken the screen off, and there's still a screen behind it. That's what you can see. But it's got this outer edge, so I'm gonna just make some bamboo, like a bamboo frame. If I can, that is. I think I'm gonna end the recording. I'm sort of done. Between the pain and lack of oxygen, I've got to call it quits. Looks nice enough, doesn't it? I know it doesn't really show, but it shouldn't be too hard to put together. Anyway, sorry for not touching on the title, but given the analogy of the phoenix, the title is pretty much where I'm at. And that's the fight that's within me at the moment, and it's zapping me. So we don't talk about the title. The title says it all. And I think my energy shows on the for you to see as a reflection. Anyway, probably till tomorrow.